I see that there's an opportunity for Kurdistan to improve on their relations in a manner where it would benefit both the United States and Kurdistan. So I believe the Kurdistan can look at President Trump's visit to the Middle East as a blueprint on how to engage him in the future. I believe there's three important points that Kurdistan can bring to the attention of President Trump and the administration. The first being to stop the illicit trade between Iran and Iraq. And doing so, Kurdistan can receive support from the US to help with the shutting down of the illicit trade routes. And that's a win for the US because it weakens the IRGC and Iran influence in Iraq. The second one is broker a new deal between Ankara and Erbil. With the PKK hostilities ending, it opens up an opportunity for economic development and improved relations and different infrastructure projects. And then the third, I think, one of the most important is having the U.S. back the road rail project, but having them include Kurdistan in the project. Right now, they're not being included, which would remove them from a lot of the economic benefit. And if Kurdistan is able to achieve those three objectives, I believe it's a win for Kurdistan and a win for the U.S. All three of those objectives will help Kurdistan economically. Improve relationships with Ankara could open up trade routes, economic development. The illicit smuggling would put more oil revenue into Kurdistan hand, and the trade routes would open up a corridor for trade that would help Erbil with its entire economy. So I believe those are the three main points that can be achieved very quickly by Kurdistan with the right influence in the messaging to President Trump and the administration. So right now, the administration is being torn between the conflict in Gaza, trying to negotiate a peace settlement with Ukraine, and right now, to be honest, Kurdistan isn't on its top priorities. However, I think a consistent message that puts forward the benefits of having support from the U.S. to Kurdistan. And one of the critical things coming up that is no one's really talking about is the parliamentary elections in Iraq in October. And if Kurdistan can receive support from the U.S., that would help them with their influence in the Iraqi government. Another way to mitigate Iranian influence into Iraq, which I believe is one of President Trump's major objectives. It's critical to maintain the existing relationships and improve on them in any way possible. Direct dialogue between the leaders is critical. Making concessions in any way and illustrating how Kurdistan can support U.S. foreign policy objectives in the region would be critical. Like I said, it was critical to grow those relationships. The one of the hurdles or challenges I foresee is right now the new administration is kind of in transition with the appointment of Marco Rubio, the elimination of USAID under State Department. So the traditional diplomatic routes may not be may not exist, or they may need to find new routes to create those dialogues. So I think it's very important that they meet with President Trump and are able to clearly articulate their vision, not only for the U.S. relationship with Erbil and Kurdistan, but how that plays in the broader picture of a unified Iraq. Oh, I can't speak personally to U.S. relations with Iraq. I do get a sense from the administration there is some frustration with Iraq as they lean closer to Iran, more economic, trade independence, and I hope that the new maybe the new ambassador coming in or the new administration will be able to create a very effective dialogue with Iraq to align them more with U.S. foreign policy and try to mitigate Iranian influence. I believe there's an opportunity. It's but I believe there's also been a frustration in the past, and they need to overcome that. It really sends out a message to not only the stakeholders in the region, but across the globe that U.S. investment in Kurdistan, just by the size of the embassy alone, is solid. I believe that messaging needs to be reinforced on both sides, but it definitely sends a clear picture to everyone in the region that the U.S. will continue to back Kurdistan.